Are you a young driver, or do you have a young driver that feel like your insurance kind of jumped up really high? Well, we're going to kind of dive into why that is, how to fix that, and one of my 5 top companies that I recommend you take a look at. Hi, this is Devin. Welcome to Valor Insurance, where we're going to talk about different coverages, different ways to save some money, some discounts, just a bit of the best way to get you educated so you can make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck for your auto insurance. So one of the things about car insurance companies when you're under the age of 25 is you don't have a proven track record. They don't really know a bunch about you, and so they're going to rate you a little bit higher because you're more risk. Like, oh, well, we don't know anything about you, not unless you got a ticket or an accident or you got something going on there that's going to pull up, which hopefully you don't because that's going to make your rate go crazy. But other than that, they don't really know you, so you got to kind of prove to them that you can drive really well, and you really don't get to see that until after the age of 25. I don't know about you guys, but when I was under the age of 25, I was probably a lot worse of a driver than I am today. The second reason that most insurance companies are going to rate young drivers a little bit more is studies have shown that younger drivers are a little bit more susceptible to distracted driving. So sending texts, watching YouTube videos, playing with a phone, Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, TikTok, all those different apps. A lot of them are trying to do that while they're driving down the road. Which obviously, for one, your experience, and two, now you're messing with your phone, so there's a lot likely chance to get in a car accident. So they see that as ways that it's just going to increase your rate. The third thing is young drivers are a little bit more reckless. They like to drive fast. They see them as just reckless drivers, so they're a little bit more likely to get a ticket, a little more likely to get in an accident, so they're going to rate a little heavier on that. And then the fourth reason is they don't really have a credit score. They don't have anything built up. They're young. They're like kind of going back to the first tip, or the first part, really, is they don't have a proven track record. They can't even be shown that they're going to pay their bills because their credit score really hasn't even developed yet. And even though you're not really supposed to use your credit score here in Michigan, they kind of wrap that up in what they call the insurance score, which has millions of little factors in there. So with all those things, so what does a young driver do to kind of get a better rate? You got all these negative things, so how do we counteract that? Well, one way is actually have a good GPA, having a B or better GPA. It's a lot of companies, almost all companies give you a discount on having a B or better. Other way that can help you out, and number 2 here, is kind of pay attention to the vehicle you're going to buy or drive. So I know sometimes I get clients calling me up for a quote. They're like 18. They want to buy like a brand new Dodge Challenger or Corvette or something, Mustang, something kind of fast. And your rate's going to be crazy high because they see them as a reckless driver. They're going to have the power to have the recklessness to it behind it. They may be distracted. So a lot of bad things could happen. Probably won't. But, insurance companies got to play on the worst side of things. So paying attention to the car you drive. Smaller cars are going to be a little bit more. Fast, high-performance cars are going to be up more. So you kind of go from the smaller size to the bigger cars. Trucks are usually a little bit cheaper in insurance. But then you also got to look at the high performance and then the luxury models. You get like a Kia SUV is probably going to be a lot cheaper than doing like an Infiniti or a Mercedes or that type of SUV. Because the parts are going to be way more expensive. They're not going to be as easy to find, and the vehicle overall, the fix is going to be more expensive. Another way as a young driver to kind of help with counteract the high price is actually use one of those safe driving apps. Depends on the company. I would talk to your agent to figure out exactly what they're rating on, but some companies do 30%, and I know a couple actually go all the way up to 40% of a discount. You got to drive perfectly. You got to make sure you pay attention and, make sure you're doing everything right. But hey, even if it's 18%, which a lot of clients that I know that it's about average for, 18% is not bad. It's better than 0. And, most of those programs are only like 30 days. I know a couple of them are 90 days, 60 days. So you just got to know exactly what you're kind of getting yourself into before you sign up for one of them. Fourth way is actually have a better credit score. Work on it. I know it's hard, but having a better credit score can really help increase your rate, and it's going to open up to some companies that really give high discounts for having a good credit score / insurance score. And then another option that a lot of people don't think about is maybe you don't have the financial part of it is it's actually paid in full. Maybe 6 months or a year, depending on the company. I know Progressive is one of those companies that give a huge paid in full discount, where I know there's other companies where it's a little smaller, Maybe it's like $20 or something like that every 6 months, or $100 a year. But talk to your agent about those options there for you. If it's something financial you're able to do, maybe that's something to actually look into and talk to somebody about it. So if you like those ideas, now here are my 5 companies that I recommend that if you're a young driver to kind of look into. So the first one is Nationwide. Nationwide does a really good job with young drivers. You can do pay per mile. They got a really good program there for the safe driving app. They do pretty well on the higher insurance score kind of thing. So that's definitely one of them I'd look into. The next one I would look into is Safeco / Liberty Mutual. I kind of put them on the same line there. Safeco is just part of Liberty Mutual. Safeco sometimes has a little bit better rate in Michigan than Liberty Mutual, but they both do really well with young drivers. There's a couple different options. The nice thing about their driving app is, at least I know on the Safeco side, is that they don't actually ever going to increase your rate. Depends if you're a bad driver or not, so that's kind of helpful. There is Geico out there too. The problem is with Geico, when I doing my research, they were just one of the companies that kept popping up. I know I've had friends that tried to get a rate with Geico. It was such a pain that they had to call, mail in things. It was such a pain that they just kind of didn't even go down that route. And then the last one is State Farm. They're not a bad company. I've done a little bit of research into them, and they just kind of kept popping up as, one of the top companies. So I would definitely look at those top 5. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, anything like that maybe we're not describing very well, or maybe questions that you guys have that we haven't quite answered yet, please put it in the comments below. We love chatting with you guys, and we love to help you guys out. Also, if you guys like this and want to see more of this, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll see you guys next time.